Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Vendor Spotlight. Today, we are going to be chatting with John Schalpbach of Visions Healing. You may recall he's been on the show a couple of times, and today we will be talking about heart walls, what they are, and how to release them. And John will also be able to do some distant work with a few people to do some heart wall removing. And of course, he's going to explain that a lot better than I just did. But we will talk about doing that. And so if you're interested in having a session with John online here today, type in the comments below, and welcome everybody. And if you're watching the replay, let us know you're on the replay. Let us know in the comments below. Now, before we get to John, bringing on John here, we do have another holistic market and psychic fair coming up, and it is on Sunday, this Sunday coming up, February 23rd from 11 until 4. Vendor profiles you can check out online at holisticmarket.ca if you want to see who's going to be there before you come on down, and also you can pre-book with people ahead of time. It is free admission. We're in downtown Kelowna in beautiful BC, Canada for our international viewers. Come down to Kelowna, come check us out. So today is chatting with John, and we will be talking about heart walls. So let's get right to it and bring John on screen here. Hi, John. How's it going? Oh, hang on a sec. I have to unmute you still.
Okay.
Bring on a gift. Give them no sound.
I think my wife has one of those mute buttons too. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi, John.
Nice to be back here.
Mm-hmm. Nice to have you here too, John. So last time we were doing some treatments with people by distance, and but today we are going to be specifically focusing on heart walls because we didn't get to that last time. And so maybe you can let us know what a heart wall is and what you do with them and why we may want to have you take a look at ours.
Sure, my pleasure. Yes. So, I mean, again, this is coming from Dr. Bradley Nelson, the Emotion Code book, with a foreword by Tony Robbins and lots of support from people like Greg Braden and stuff. So this work is sort of going all over the world. So when I started this work, it was 2007 when the first book came out. I knew Dr. Nelson from previous, but when I started this work and I went to my first seminar, that was, I think, in Seattle many years ago, he brought up the idea of what's called a heart wall. And I thought, well, this is interesting because, I'm a bit of a heart person. I don't know anyone here that most healers are heart people as well. But I'm going to ask you something. Do you know when people, or maybe you've heard of people that have had heartache before? Maybe they've been through a divorce or a difficult relationship. Maybe they have some relationships from their past, which are maybe affecting them in the present here. Maybe they've had losses in their family. So many things can lead to heart walls. And really what a heart wall is this is a layer of emotions. It's invisible. We don't actually see it, but it's like, again, this is energy, and we're all energy, where you have a layer of emotions that start to build up around your heart. And your subconscious is doing this because it's trying to protect you from being hurt. So maybe you're dealing with depression or numbed emotions, or maybe you're dealing with chronic neck and shoulder pain or any type of heart issue or any of these things. Quite often, these heart walls are involved in that type of situation. So again, it's made up of what we call trapped emotions. And there's a chart there. You can actually see the chart behind me. 60 different emotions that can make up the heart wall. And the interesting thing is we can start building this wall around our heart even in the womb, even in the moment of conception. Most children are already born with heart walls or emotional baggage. And then as life goes on and we have all these experiences, we start to build and build and build and build these layers around our heart.
Mm.
Something interesting about the heart that people may not realize is the heart actually can think for itself. It has a mind, a very
Okay.
elaborate nervous system.
I need you to explain that a bit more.
Well, it's been shown through other research and brain math and other things that the heart is not just a pump. The heart actually is capable of thinking for itself. It has a very elaborate nervous system. The heart also has, if you take a magnetocardiogram and you go around the heart, you're going to see it extends at least 12 feet out all around us, this energy that comes out from our heart.
Oh.
And that's been proven scientifically now for a number of years. So, and even if you send love to someone and they're 5,000 miles away, it records in their brain.
Huh.
So how we're all connected. Remember, and we've heard, any of the people that are very spiritual know that the heart is also the seat of our soul.
Yeah.
It's a source of all of our creativity is there, not here, it's there. And it's also the source of love is in our heart.
Right.
So what happens is when we have these walls and layers of emotions around our heart, they can impact our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. They can affect our businesses, our success, our relationships. Everything is impacted by this heart wall. And I've had to do releases for heart walls for people, even in business, for business success. If you have a heart wall, you're not going to have the success that you normally have. On average, about 93% of people in the world have these heart walls.
That makes sense. I mean, when you explain like people going through heartache and the divorce and grief and loss of family members, and I can see how that relates too into a business, being a business owner myself too, that you get those layers and layers, and I'd imagine then the buildup can be quite a bit over time. So like you had suggested that you would be able to do an example demo with somebody today. So if you're watching live, please go ahead and type in if you're interested. I actually had Sharon's already said hello. Hello, Sharon. Welcome to the show. If you're interested in having John do a demo on heart wall removal, is that what it's called, John? Heart wall removal? Or?
Yes. Well, first of all, we need to identify if that person has a heart wall.
Oh,
and
right.
Secondly,
right.
There's different types of heart walls.
Okay.
And we can always do a demonstrated station. I'm going to share something a little quick. Now,
sure. These
emotions, let's say you have 20 emotions in your heart wall. And we know that these emotions are tied into different, I don't know if you can see, different organs and glands and everything are tied into these emotions. So for example, if you look at anger, bitterness, guilt, depression, etc., they can be tied into your liver or gallbladder, which is also tied into your knee problems, shoulder problems. So these emotions that make up the heart wall are also tied into different organs and glands, which are tied into different muscles or nerves or chakras. So it's not just, you can have a heart wall, but it could be impacting so many parts of your body, and you're not even aware on a conscious level, that is, that it's there. So remember, we're working with a subconscious mind here that knows everything about you from the time you were conceived. And that's what we're working with.
So something like then when you work with somebody and you determine that they do have a heart wall that's there and they're wanting to kind of release that, how many sessions would it take for somebody to be clear of that?
Well, it all depends on how many emotions. Some heart walls, I've worked on babies and young kids where sometimes their heart wall has maybe had 4 or 5 emotions or 6 emotions in it. And that's pretty quick. I've even worked on animals that have had heart walls, loss of their owners and other things. And animals are quick, but sometimes with humans, seems like the longer we go, the bigger this wall, we build this bigger wall, So I've seen heart walls. I've worked on people that have heart walls that are under an inch with maybe 2 or 3 emotions. And I've worked on people that have heart wall. I think the biggest heart wall I ever worked on over the years with a woman, her heart wall was over 89 miles thick
Oh,
of
wow.
emotions.
Wow.
So we used to check to see how thick is your heart wall. Is it over a foot? Is it over 10, 100, 1,000 feet? So one emotion could take up 1 inch, and another emotion could take up 100 feet or 1,000 feet in that wall. We don't know, or a mile. It all depends on how that emotion was initially trapped or unprocessed in our energy field. So some emotions have a deeper layer to it than others.
Right.
So we used to determine how thick it is, sometimes what it's made out of. It can energetically be made out of. Mine was, initial one years ago was made out of armor, like Knights of Armor. I've had people's heart walls made out of chocolate. I've had people's heart walls made out of steel, out of different plants or flowers or favorite things. They'll pick something that they'll feel safe. For example, I knew a lady, hers was made out of a weeping willow tree. Oh. Energetically, that was sort of the symbol of it, because when she was a little girl, whenever she felt a little sort of nervous or unsettled, she would go run and hide under this big weeping willow tree in her backyard. Oh, and so she felt safe and protected. Yeah. So hers was made of, and some have been made out of the stuffed animals they had as babies, or their cribs, or their blankies, or favorite clothing. So that's sort of that's what we call like a symbol. We sort of pick something to build it out of, right? Right. Something that we're going to feel strong. When they were first discovered, I think Dr. Nelson's wife had one over 5 miles thick, and it was made up of hardwood. She grew up with hardwood floors, so she built this big wall out of hardwood, thinking she's going to be safe and protected behind it.
Wow, that's really interesting. Oh, we've got another viewer popping in to say hello. Hi, Jennifer. Haven't seen her in a while. I hope you're down at the holistic market on Sunday. I'd love to see you and your mom again today, or your grandma. Oh, and then Regina's in here as well. Chocolate heart walls. Love those. Well, you know, yeah. Thanks, Regina. Yeah. Thanks for popping in to say hello. Yeah. So John is going to be able to do a demo. It may cover a couple of heart walls, but usually the sessions can be a bit longer to clear a thicker heart wall. So if you're interested in having John work on you remotely today, certainly type in the comments, and we'll take 1 or 2 viewers today on the show to demonstrate what John's talking about with the heart walls. And oh, here's Nikki. Hey, Nikki, how's it going? Thanks so much for having us here, she says. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so if you're interested in having John do a demo on you with the heart walls remotely today, right now, please type in there that you'd be a willing participant, and then we will get to the first couple that are asking. And oh, actually, we've got someone already. Jennifer says she's in.
Okay, well, I'm just going to grab a little piece of paper here as well, just in case you want me to make a few little notes here.
All right, Jennifer, thank you for volunteering. And we've also got Regina would like to be next as well. So Gina's so what I'm going to do, John, is just hand over the screen to you so you can work with Jennifer now.
Okay. So what I need from Jennifer, though, is I have your name, and I just need your age. And because sometimes you might have to know how old were you when you trapped or this emotion and what it was about. Sometimes that'll show up for people.
Okay, so Jennifer, if you can just type in your age, that would be great.
And then I need her permission to work on her. Just permission. As long as I have her permission, we can do that.
Okay. Can you hear me too, John, while I'm talking right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if I had to be on the screen. Yeah, so
that's fine.
Yeah, for Jennifer, Regina, and Nikki, you 3 will be the ones that we do it. So Jennifer has typed in she is 33 years old, and by providing that info, we will assume that she's willing and giving permission then for you to work on her heart wall.
Okay, so the first step, we're going to do a 7-step process. I use the emotion code chart. You can see one behind me. but I have a smaller one here that I'm going to use. And then we're going to use what we call muscle testing. Okay. Muscle testing is a form of accessing the subconscious mind through the body. We're going to use what's called proxy. That's what we're doing here today. In other words, I'm going to fill in for you and do the testing for you. We're going to check the severity of your heart wall on a scale of 1 to 10. We have your permission, which is very important. And we're going to, any emotions or unprocessed emotions, we're going to release. We're going to use a magnet with intention. And we're going to make sure that I'm well hydrated here to work on you. So before we start here then, Jennifer, I'm just going to make sure that I'm testable. I'm just going to use what's called a ring and ring test. With a ring and ring test, where again, we're talking to our subconscious mind. So this would be like a yes, and this would be a no. A yes is a strong response, and no is a weak response. And I'm just going to make sure I'm a little bit hydrated before I start. Okay, so now that I have your permission, Jennifer, I'm going to ask, can I act as a proxy then for Jennifer? Yes, I can. Do I have a good connection? Yes, I do. My name is Jennifer. Yes, my name is John. No. So now we're connected energetically. And so I'm going to ask Jennifer, do you have a heart wall? Yes, you do. I'm going to ask, is there anything blocking us or preventing us from working on your heart wall? No. Is there anything we need to do first? No. So just for demonstration reasons, and we don't always have to know all this stuff. Sometimes we do. I'm going to ask Jennifer, can we check how thick is your heart wall with these emotions? Is it over a foot? Yes. Is it over 10 feet? Is it over 100? Is it over 1,000? Is it over a mile? Is it over 2 miles? It's over a mile thick with emotions. Remember, one emotion could take up an inch, or another emotion could take up 1,000 feet. It's over a mile. So is it over, let me ask, is it over 6,000 feet? No, it's over 5,000 feet. Is it over 5,300? Yes, 54, 55. It's over 5,400. And is it 5,410, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2? 5,442 feet. And how many inches? 0, 1, 2 inches. So sometimes we'll do this simply because, Jennifer, we want to make sure that as we're releasing these emotions, that heart wall starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's just, and energetically, do we need to know what your heart wall is made out of? No, but it's made out of some kind of, it's a hard material. So is it like a wood or a rock, or it's some kind of a hard stone or rock it's made out of? Is it like brick? No. So we don't really need to know. But so we know how thick it is with the emotions. Again, you could have 20 emotions in there. You could have 30. We don't know. So I'm going to ask, what's the first most important trapped emotion we can release for you, Jennifer, in your heart wall? And remember, we're using our chart here. So we're going to ask, is it in column A or B? Which row, which one? And there's 60 emotions. We're going to nail it down to one. So what's the first most important trapped emotion we can release in your heart wall, Jennifer? Would this be in column A? No, it's in column B. Is it in row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4? That's the liver gallbladder row, row 4. Again, that can cause all kinds of problems with those organs or muscles. So which one is it? Is it depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic? Is it taken for granted? No, you notice that they're all weak. Again, is it depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic, taken for granted? They're all getting a no for all of those. So usually when that happens, Jennifer, this is what we call an inherited heart wall. So this heart wall you started to build this wall while you were, at the moment you were conceived, you started to build a wall of emotions. Most of us will start in the womb, we'll start with, or the moment of conception. This is an inherited emotion. So which one is it? Is it inherited depression? No. Inherited frustration, inherited decisiveness, inherited panic, inherited taken for granted. Very, very common with women, taken for granted. That's one of the common emotions. So you inherited this taken for granted at the moment of conception. And did you inherit it then from your father's side? No, this one came through your mother. Make any sense there? This one came from your mother, taken for granted. So every one of these emotions are vibrating at their own frequency. So if you have taken for granted in your vibrational, you're going to attract situations where you're feeling taken for granted. And again, it's common with mothers and wives. And so you inherited this from your mother. And I'm going to ask, how many generations does this go back? Because this can be generational. So over 5 generations, over 10, over 20, no, so over 5, over 10, over 15. This went back 12 generations of mothers that this emotion went back 12 generations. And a generation is approximately about 25 years. So this could have gone back over 250 years where this emotion was unprocessed and you received it at the moment of conception. It got passed down through all these mothers. And so let me ask, did that last mother get it through her father? No. So the first one is coming up is inherited, taken for granted. So now here's the thing. If you have any siblings that are from your birth mother, if they have any children, and Jennifer, I don't know if you have any children as well, or even grandchildren, I don't know. Not at 33, probably. However, the nice thing about these inherited things, these are like, we can go back and energetically release these on everyone right from the beginning, because energetically that original grandmother is still carrying this in their energy field. And we've actually had cases where we've done inherited emotions where the ancestor has actually energetically showed up, or the ancestors right at the time of this release, and then once it's done, they're gone. So this is an inherited emotion of taken for granted. Again, taken for granted can affect your liver, gallbladder. So let me ask, do we need to know more in order to release it? No. So we're going to delete this emotion for you, Jennifer, taken for granted, and it's inherited. So we're going to, when it's an inherited emotion, we roll at least 10 times with the magnet. We're rolling over the central governing meridian to release this. So, and if I haven't done enough, it's going to tell me it's not released. If I go more than 10, that's fine, because we need to do at least 10 emotions for these inherited ones, 10 rolls, I should say. And did it release that inherited taken for granted? Yes. Was it released 100%? Yes. And did it energetically get released on all of these mothers? Yes. And I don't know if you have any siblings, but you did. If you do, was it released on? If you have siblings, it would be released on them and any of their children, and any of your children if you have it. So this is a way to get rid of emotional baggage when it's inherited, because we're all coming into the earth here with baggage. And if it process it, it builds and builds, and it affects many things. So let me see. Can we release one more? Let's see if we can do one more for your heart wall here, Jennifer. Can we release another emotion for your heart wall? Yes. Would it be in column A or column B again? Which row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5 is the kidney bladder row. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the kidney bladder row is row number 5. So again, column A, column B, row 5. And kidneys are tied into your neck and your jaws and your lower back, and bladder are tied into all the muscles that run along your spine and your lower legs. So they can cause all kinds of problems, or it's actually the organ itself is not being able to function to 100%. So which one is it? Is it conflict? Is it creative insecurity? Is it terror? Is it unsupported, wishy-washy? Here you go. Here's another inherited one. So you're digging deep right off the back. So is it inherited then? Conflict, inherited creative insecurity, inherited terror, inherited unsupported. Again, this is another common one with women, feeling unsupported on some level. So did you inherit this unsupported then from your father's side? No, this one came through your mother. Again, through your mother. Did she get it from somewhere else? Yes. Did she get it from her mother and her mother and her mother? How many generations of mothers does this inherited unsupported go back? Over 5, over 10, over 15, over 20. 18 generations this one goes back. And did that last mother get it through her father? No. So this goes back 18 generations of mothers. So when release that inherited unsupported on you, then Jennifer, will it also energetic release on all these mothers? Yes. And so I'm going to ask, because again, we could be talking hundreds of people here that this gets passed down. So I'm going to ask that get this inherited unsupported gets released on all souls, living or dead, that ever inherited this in this family line. Is there anything else we need to know how to release, to know in order to release it? No. So let's release that one again. Remember, it's 10 rolls because it's inherited. And oops. And take a breath on that one, Jennifer. And did we release that inherited unsupported for you? Yes, we did. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So now I'm going to ask, just for curiosity, how thick is your heart wall then, Jennifer? Is it over a foot? Yes. Is it over 10 feet? Is it over 100 feet? Is it over 1,000 feet? No. So is it over 100 feet? Is it over 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? It's 880, 885 feet. And how many inches? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. So Jennifer, when we started, it was over a mile thick of emotions. Now we're down to 885 feet and 6 inches with just 2 emotions. Imagine. And you've been carrying these since the moment you were conceived. So that's knocked it down quite a bit. The whole thing is when we're working on heart wall, we want to get it right down to 0. So that heart wall is completely gone. And that will change your life. For sure. So I'm just going to disconnect from you here, Jennifer. And so my name is John. My name is John. My name is Jennifer. No. So Jennifer, I'm going to have you take a few deep breaths. If you have some water, drink some water. And then if you want to make a comment at some point as to if those emotions have showed up in your life a lot or how you're feeling after that. Sometimes people notice.
Thank you for that demo, John. I can see that makes sense having seen you do this, that how, it can be 1 or 2, but you just keep going until it's fully released and the whole heart wall is down. So, what are some of, and thank you, Jennifer, too. Thank you for volunteering and being open and vulnerable to having this done on a public forum. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So how, John, how would people, once these walls are down, what can they expect to have shift or change within their lives? Is it like their outlook or their feelings or how they interact with people or what is it that's shifting within them?
All of those things can happen. Okay. Sometimes it's very dramatic. When you're going to see a change, I've worked on people that have had severe depression, anxiety, a lot of problems in their relationships, or they're not able to attract a soulmate. And we see massive changes in all those areas for people. Sometimes it's very subtle. You might notice that you're responding a little differently than you would in a certain situation, or you're thinking differently or behaving differently. Again, like when we worked on your hip there, chronic pain is one of the easiest ones to get rid of because sometimes there's just a few emotions and you noticed a shift right after we did it. So with heart walls, sometimes it's fairly immediate and sometimes it's more, you just sort of watch how things progress. Now, again, that heart wall is not completely removed here. So once it's completely removed, that's when the biggest dramatic shifts will happen for people.
Right. So when you work with people in your own practice, then their sessions can be like up to an hour, or what's your session like?
I used to do a lot of hour sessions, and for some reason, I do attract people with heart walls because that's an area I specialize. So, however, now I'm working in 30-minute sessions.
Okay.
So it used to take me, I used to do hour sessions. It would take me sometimes 2 to 4 sessions to release a heart wall for someone.
Right.
Now I can do it in, most of the time it's all done in one 30-minute session now.
Oh, that's good.
So I've been able to take some master training and speed everything up for people. And so, we can get rid of one fairly quickly. And again, sometimes it's only a few emotions in there, right? I worked on a lady who was 107. And she said, John, I've had a difficult life and growing up. I know I'm going to have a lot of baggage and I know I have a heart wall. So we did some work on her. She said, before I pass on, I want to get rid of this old stuff that I'm carrying. And she was so much at peace after we did a bunch of work on her. So you never know how it's going to impact someone.
Yeah. And what a great way to take care of it before passing on, so you're not passing it on to the other generations too, like doing that clearing work. I like how it's generational.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can actually have heart walls with the world as well, a heart wall with the world. Some people have that. You can have a heart wall with someone, a particular person. Maybe it's an ex or something, or maybe a boyfriend you had when you were 15 and you still have some emotions caught up there around that. Or you can actually have a heart wall with something as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh. We've got another comment here from Asia. She says, "Hey everyone, glad I got to get on here." Hi Asia, welcome to the show. Thank you for watching. So we did have, we had Regina and we had Nikki express that they were interested in having a demo. So we do have time for one more. Okay. So we will need an age from one of you. So if you're still online, certainly go ahead and just type in your age in the comments, and maybe the first person that gets it will get the demo today. Of course, John is also available for this work in person, and that is at the Holistic Market and Psychic Fair. And the next one is on this Sunday, February 23rd, 11 till 4, downtown Kelowna at the Laurel Packing House. It's free admission to come in, and then you can find all of us there. There's going to be over 45 vendors this month. We have quite a group of new people, and of course, we've also got people like John who have been with us for years. Yeah, this is we're coming up on the 5th year this year. April is going to be the 5-year anniversary of the market, so that's pretty exciting from my perspective.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, who knew when I started that? Okay, so. Well, we've had 3 people actually volunteer with their ages, and we've actually got someone in Ireland too. Jim, thank you for watching. But the first person to reply that got in here is Regina, and she said she is 51. So Regina, we will do yours today, and certainly if you'd like to contact John after today and see about setting up a session with him on a more private session that's not all public like this, distance ones are available, and his information as well as everybody else's that's vendors this month are at holisticmarket.ca. There's a whole vendor section with contact info, websites, Facebook links, Instagram links, phone numbers, and ways to get in touch. So you can certainly reach us. And if you're watching on the replay, please type in replay too. Let us know what you've learned and what your thoughts are. Okay, so Regina is here.
Regina is next, then okay?
I'll pass over the screen to you, John, so you can do a demo with Regina as well. And that will be our last one for our live show.
And just for that person in Ireland, I work with people in Hong Kong, Ireland, England. It doesn't matter where you are in the work, we still can do the work for you. So for Regina here, we're going to ask, so I have your permission. So can I act as a proxy for Regina? Yes, I can. Do I have a good connection? Yes. My name is Regina. Yes. My name is John. No. So now we're connected, Regina. So do you have a heart wall? Yes. Is there anything blocking us or preventing us from working on your heart wall? No. Is there anything we need to do first? No. So just again, just out of curiosity, do we need to know how thick it is? No, but for curiosity, how thick is your heart wall? Is it over a foot? Is it over 10 feet, 100? Is it over 1,000? No, it's over 100 feet. Is it over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? It's 610, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 689 feet. And how many inches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. So again, it's not the thickness that matters. You could have more emotions in a 680-foot heart wall than a one that's 2 miles. And again, they can take up a different amount of distance. So I'm going to ask, what's the most important trapped emotion we can release for you, Regina, in your heart wall? Would this be, again, I'm going to my chart in column A or column B. You can see it behind me as well. Is it in row 1? Yes. Is it effort? This is heartache. The first one that's coming up with is heartache. Now, here's the thing. You would think that there should always, sometimes I've seen heart walls where there's been no heartache, which is, you'd expect that would be the biggest thing. And again, you can trap these the same emotions can come up more than once in your heart wall. We might find heartache 10, 12 times at different ages, related to different people. So this heartache, is this your own? Yes, it is. Is it picked up or shared or absorbed, or is it prenatal? No, It's your own heartache, and do we need to know more in order to release it? No, we don't. But I'm going to ask, for you, Regina, how old were you when you trapped this heartache? Before the age of 50? Yes. Before the age of 30? Between 0 and 10? Yeah. If this goes back, this heartache goes back to when you're 2 years old. This one you trapped in your heart wall. Do we need to know more? No. But just again, I'm just going to ask, is it anything to do with your health? No. Family? This is something to do with relationships. Relationships in general. This is something to do father or something, relationship with father. Again, we don't always have to know these details. That's all we need to know. Do we need to know more in order to release it for you, Regina? No. So it may make sense to you. And so we're going to release this trapped emotional heartache, just 3 rolls. And just to be sure, I'm going to release any hidden heartache that might be there as well on this, or shared heartache or absorbed heartache, just to make sure it's all gone. And take a breath on that one. And did release that heartache for you? Yes, we did. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So let's see. Can we release one more from your heart wall? Yes. Would this be in column A or B? Is in row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, again, kidney bladder. Is it? This one is a trapped emotion of peeved, P-E-E-V-E-D, which means sort of ticked off. And is this your own? Actually, no, it isn't. It's picked up. You picked this one up from somewhere else, Regina. Sorry, did you pick it up from another person? Yes. Was it a family member? Yes. Was it a female, male? You picked this one up from your mother. I've even had people I've worked on that were adopted. They don't even know their birth parents, but they still picked up emotions or inherited them when they were conceived or when they were young. So this one you picked up from your mother. So just for curiosity, how old were you when you picked it up from your mother? Before the age of 50, yes. Before the age of 30, yes. Between 0 and 10, yeah. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, you picked this up from your mother. This one, do we need to know more or to release it? No. So let's get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this heartache emotion of peeved, and any hidden heartache emotions of peeved, just to be sure, and any shared ones, trauma energy ones, and take a breath on that one. And did release that emotion for you? Yes. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So let's see. We'll do one more quick one. Is there another one we can release? Yes. In column A or B, which row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Row 6. That's your glandular row. Could be affecting your thyroid or your adrenal glands. Is it pride, shame? This is shock. Shock comes up a lot for people. As a matter of fact, it's one of the number 1 emotions that come up when I release food addictions or drink addictions for people, which we can usually do in just a few minutes. Shock comes up. So is this your own shock? Yes, it is. Do we need to know more in order to release it? No. But again, for curiosity, how old were you when you trapped it? Before the age of 50? Yes. Before the age of 30? No. 30 to 40, 40 to 50. 47 years old. Shock at 47. It's around success on some level. Shock, success on some level. Do we need to know more in order to release it? No. Let's release that one for you. And 1, 2, 3, releasing the heart wall of shock, and any hidden heart wall of shock, and any absorbed heart wall of shock, and shared heart wall of shock. And let's take a breath on that one. And did release that one for you? Yes, we did. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So some of these ages, some of these emotions something may come to your conscious mind in regards to this. Remember, your subconscious knows everything about you, and it knows these emotions and what they're about and when they happened. So now I'm going to ask, can we check how thick is your heart wall? Is it over a foot? Yes. Is it over 10 feet? Yes. Is it over 100? Yes. Is it over 200? It's over 100. Is it 100? Over 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's 151, 2, 3. It's 154 feet. And how many inches? 0, 1, 2, 3. So that came down quite a bit. So imagine what life would be like without a heart wall. Things change. Relationships change. Health changes. The way you look at the world, your thoughts will change, because we know we can inherit a lot of these. We inherit beliefs and thoughts and emotions and cultures and ideas and habits from our ancestors. And they're all tied into these emotions. So thank you for volunteering as well for that.
Yes, thanks, Regina. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show today. And thank you, John, for coming on and demonstrating the energetic work that you do. It's obviously beneficial to many people. And I like that you can do this all by distance. And of course, in person as well.
Yes, we do a little both. So if you want to come down and see me, if you're in Kelowna, come down to visit my booth. And if you have an issue, whether it's chronic pain, whether it's anxiety, depression, food addictions, sore back, sore neck, problems going to the dentist, whatever. I did someone in 5 minutes and she was able to go to the dentist, no problem, no fear. So whatever it is, I have a whole basically menu of areas that I've helped people with. It's hard to see here over the years. So whatever it is, feel free to come down and join us at the market.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Carly. It's always a pleasure. And if you guys want to make some comments as to how you felt after that, feel free to pass them along to Carly then. Yeah,
and type them in here. We'll be watching for them. Thanks. Yeah. I'll see you on Sunday, John.
See you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, so as we were saying, definitely this Sunday is the next vendor or holistic market and psychic fair. You will see vendors such as John coming down in person, and it is 11 until 4 o'clock, free admission, Laurel Packing House, downtown Kelowna. See you there, and until next time, have a great day.